Yes.
Beer? What do you need?
All of it, man.
I got you.
Where's the aid station?
Right here. There. It's all weird.
Okay.
Stuff good.
That's okay.
How'd you get ahead of John?
Make issues for the camera because I'm a better runner than John.
Course marking. So you guys have your maps?
We want something that really makes it hard. We don't have mountains, right? And so we got to do something that's a real challenge. And what OPSF does is provide that challenge to that runner so you can go through the full spectrum and you can do it here in Indiana. That's the reason this race has to exist. I'm Jonathan Bauman. I'm the race director for OPSF 50/50. When ITR took it over, we decided that it kind of fallen into, we'll call it disarray, or just wasn't really going to be run anymore. And we decided that it needed to be resurrected because we didn't want to lose that history. And so we wanted to keep that tradition alive, moved it to March to make it even harder. And now it is what it is today.
My name is Jeff Tincher. I was the race director for the first 9 years of the Owen Putnam race. In 1991, I bought a book at the McCormick's Creek Inn called Nature Walks in Southern Indiana. The summer of '93, I came out with some USGS maps and a compass, finally put together about a 9.5 to 10 mile loop that I hope to use for the race. And so we started the race then in November of '93.
My name's Terry Fletcher. 2012 or 2013, we found out that the race wasn't going to happen anymore. We decided to bring it back.
The first year of the race, there was probably about 2 miles that the runners didn't have to bushwhack per se, but there was no trailer before. I just marked it with surveyor's tape so they knew where to go.
It was the oldest race in Indiana. It was a good race to run a few miles before the Indiana Trail 100. I didn't want it to end, so I took it over. I was the one that coined the term the toughest race in Indiana.
It's tough in a lot of areas because the mud is an issue. You're unable to grip like a regular trail race.
It's not about beating someone, or unless it's your buddy you bring along, but it's just about being in the woods and being the best you can be that day. That's what it's about.
One of the things I like about doing these types of races is that I don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you what's going to happen in a 5K, even a half marathon or a full marathon, but once you start going off the deep end, that's kind of where I feel like I'm going to learn things about me, about the people around me, the people I care about, that I can't learn in other situations.
I feel like I'm addicted to the distance. I did my first marathon last year, and then like a couple days after that, wanted to do another trail race. Then I did a 50K, and then I did a 50 miler, and I've just been addicted since.
My triathlon days were between the decades of when I was 30 to 40. So I did, probably 60 triathlons during that time.
I actually went to the gym for the first time back in 2013 just because it was free for 2 weeks. And I ran into a friend who was a runner, and I joked with her, if you want to train me for free, I'll be a runner. And she took it seriously, made me sign up for a half marathon. I had never even ran a mile.
But now at this point in my life, my mindset's a little bit differently, so it's more about the experience.
I signed up because it's going to be tough, so that's probably one of the biggest allures of this race for me.
I just love this race. It was my first 50K. People know how hard it is, so they support each other, whether you're a volunteer or you're running it or you're walking it. It's just a nice feeling to be part of something like this.
And I remember thinking, there's no way I would ever do anything beyond 26 miles. Then here it came, the 50K, and then once you've done that, 50 mile, and then you get a taste for it.
I think in the beginning people are pretty nervous because they just don't know what's going to happen.
The last 20 minutes before the race starts, just kind of get in the right headspace.
I'm probably going to be thinking, why am I doing this? What am I thinking?
You can destroy yourself with your thoughts.
Take some time to feel all those months and miles of anticipation.
On behalf of myself and Stephanie, the co-race directors here, thank you for coming out today.
The reason I like ultra running, especially the longer distance, because it tests you mentally. It really gives you an understanding of how far you can go. We call it the pain cave. Really tests who you are, I think, as an individual.
Oh, back up this way? When Terry took it, I volunteered that first year.
Yeah.
And then since then, I've volunteered for it every year as a medic. So there was a little bit of hypothermia last year, but that's the most serious medical problems we've ever had out here. So other than people getting their feelings hurt, of course they'll kill them.
I think every ultra runner at this point, the day before a race, starts weighing and double doubting their training and what you could have done better and so on. You just got to put that aside and move forward. You can't let that overtake you.
I spent most of the year injured. I tore my calf muscle, spent about 9 weeks trying to repair it because it was a 3rd-degree tear.
I love being in the woods. That's where I get my energy from. To me, that's the true part of who I am.
Running has become such a central part of my life. It gives me something to look forward to every day. It's like, you know, sometimes if I need, like if I'm in a bad mood or something, I can just go out, hit the road, hit the trails.
It's pretty tough to go through that injury cycle and maybe I'm not gonna run again.
The first doctor said, you're done running. You shouldn't run anymore.
You know, maybe we are addicted to running. I mean, I've been running since I've been 13.
You know, you may be a little crazy in a sense. Normal people won't understand.
I actually cried at the doctor's office. I teared up. That's really hard to hear. Taking something you love away.
I'll trade you. He needs to top up with his bar.
Waterman? Anything else?
No, I'm good.
You're not suffering near enough yet.
You guys know where I am in terms of other racers? I want something that will challenge me. I want something that will push what I know I can do into something that I don't know if I can do. And having someone say to me that I'm running the toughest race in Indiana makes me kind of lights a fire under me.
The back area around Rattlesnake Campground is probably one of my favorite areas of the course. I think of a couple of climbs that I'm not real fond of, but they're still beautiful areas.
It's nice that you can actually see those ridge lines out there and you can get there, and that's my favorite part of the course. When it comes to the rest of it, I just love the fact that you can't get fast here. You just have to be challenged the entire day.
If you think about a bog, and horses go through it all the time, you know, their hooves go down probably 6 to 8 inches. So you have all these puddles all over the place, so you can never figure out where to put your foot. And sometimes it just goes in, you know, shin deep, and sometimes you lose your shoe.
Last year was awful. It would go from rain to sleet to ice back and forth the entire time. People were putting their earbuds in just to keep the sleet from pounding their ears.
Guys argue with me, no, I've got 2 pair of socks on, I'll be fine. It's like, yeah, but after 4 hours of standing in 22-degree temperature, those 2 pair of socks aren't going to do you any good.
No, I'm not running from things. I did come to a decision that I wanted to do, if I ever was going to do another ultra, it would be for some purpose, not just, okay, Denise finished another 100. My brother had been in and out of a different lifestyle. We were very close as kids. I didn't want his 50th birthday tomorrow just to go without any kind of recognition at all. So I thought, you know what, I can do 50 miles. I want to do that for Jimmy tomorrow. This one's going to be for my brother, for suicide awareness.
I'd be lying if I said like doing an ultra was easy. There's always, no matter the distance, I've always like hit a point where I just, you know, kind of want to stop.
I do feel like it is kind of pushing the limits a little bit.
You know, there's ups and downs in ultras just like there are in life.
It's interesting to see like me just want to give up and my husband looking at me like, don't be weak, and just pushes me to keep going.
I think managing those low points and sort of focusing your effort when things aren't going well pays dividends in both racing and in life.
By the time I finish it, it's just like, wow, I can't believe I did that, and I can't believe I even wanted to quit.
I'll go a little philosophical on you. If you're going to be a runner for a long time, it's not about your next win, or it's not about your next PR. It's the fact that you get to enjoy running. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, shared experience is everything in life. Something that actually brings people together and involves running and being out in the woods. How could you not want to do that?
That's harder. That's harder.
Toughest race in Indiana.
There's nothing to keep up with you. When you started that loop like that, I was like, oh shit.
Let's do it, man.
There's your other one.
Oh, I heard you got Lamar. Yeah, you got speed. That's
Yeah, for sure.
so, couldn't have 30 more.
Yeah.